Welcome back to Cubbyhole Conversations. Today I think I'm going to talk about my life. So I'm sitting here trying to figure out what I want to talk about this week and couldn't think of anything. And I'm just sitting here looking around my little cubbyhole, my little office, at all the different pictures that are here. Pictures of pre-Isaac, pictures of while we had Isaac, pictures of friends. Actually, I guess there's not pictures of friends necessarily, but pictures of hanging out. Oh, there's one picture up there with friends, but hanging out with people that we, times where we were with other people. They just don't happen to be in these pictures. These pictures in here are mostly just Jason and I, and Jason, Isaac, and I. So anyway, I just I'm looking around and I see all these pictures and I think, wow, what a life, really. Like, we can look at the bad things that have happened in our lives and let those define us, or we can look at the good things in our lives and let those define us. Sometimes it's hard, right? Like, my friend was assaulted. My coworker, we're not really close. I'm friends with her sister, but my coworker was assaulted Tuesday night. Somebody flashed their lights behind them. They pulled over and got assaulted. Like, here they are in a place that's supposed to be pretty safe, thinking that they can just pull over and find out, oh, maybe something's wrong with my car or something, right? And they got beat up. Well, she got beat up. And it just kind of causes me to pause and think, like, nothing's forever. Since my brother's car accident, I've always thought, today could be your last day. You should be living life as best you can to the fullest that you can. But then the day in and day out of life kind of just, we get stuck doing what we do. We get stuck living in the rut that we live in. And even if that rut's a good rut, you're still maybe just living day to day and not really pursuing your dreams, or not really focusing on being grateful. And every night Isaac and I pray together, and we always go through our grateful. Okay, I can't say every. I guess you can't really say every, because I suppose there's some nights where we just are like, it's 11 o'clock, get to bed. But usually we try to pray and at least be grateful for 3 or 4 things. Some nights the grateful prayer goes on for like half an hour, which is actually kind of cool, right? So you can live your life looking at all the bad things that have happened to you, or looking at all the bad things that are happening to you. Or you can stop and be grateful and look at all the good things that you do have, or that have happened to you. And I think there's seasons. We're in a season in our lives right now where we feel like everything's just in upheaval. Things are kind of going crazy with jobs and with our neighborhood, and with a lot of our friends moving away, and it just kind of, things are just very jumbly, and we don't really know what's gonna be next on the horizon for us. We can't see that far ahead, but we know that God has carried us through 26 years of marriage, and for me 46 and a half, and for Jason 48 years of life. And we can look back on those years and see all the times when things have been rough, but then we've gotten through them and things have been better on the other side. Or sometimes they're not better, they're just like a lateral move, but you went through this and you came back and you weren't worse off. We weren't worse off. So there's I think people say wisdom comes with age, and I think that only is true if you learn from the years behind you. But I do think that the older you get, the more humps you can look back at and see, oh, well, there's a mountaintop and there's a valley. And so, as I just look around this room and I see Isaac on a little motorcycle thing, and Jason and I snowshoeing, and one of Isaac's first Lego builds, we have a picture of that, and Jason and I meeting the guys from Tap Out at a skate conference thing we went to years ago, and Jason and I autocrossing way back when, and Jason, Isaac, and I at a entrance to a park. It's a bridge entrance to a park that we used to go to like every year on our way to Leavenworth, and Isaac and Jason doing our first 5K as a family. Isaac literally walking most of it. And so, I just look around at that, and then this is pictures. I think I've mentioned it before, pictures from when I was little. It was something I put together for part of my parents' 50th wedding anniversary a couple years back, and I really do have so much to be grateful for. And the more I focus on that, the better my mindset is, and the better my mentality is just day to day. And it's really hard sometimes when you feel like the world is kind of crashing around you. We just got through a year of COVID, and it doesn't look like that's really going to let up a whole lot. Yeah, we've gotten masks off and then masks on and then vaccine and no vaccine and there's all these rules and regs, and everywhere you go you got to try and figure out what rule and regulation you got to follow, and now there's all these different variants. So with COVID going on, life has just been super crazy for over a year now. And on top of that, we have a lot of friends who've moved out of state and or are moving out of state, and then we picked up a rental property. So we right in the middle of COVID picked up a rental property. Sometimes I question God's timing. I gotta say, we're big proponents of God's timing and His plan and seeing things come through in His season. But wow, like looking back, I'm like, okay. I mean, I do believe it was the right thing to do, but wow, that it sat for a while, and that was painful. And yeah, I don't know. It's. I think I'm just kind of in a mode right now. I just got back from a very rainy walk. We're supposed to have a barbecue tomorrow, and it's supposed to rain. And it's like we've had the driest June and July, and now we have a barbecue planned, and it's gonna rain. And I'm like, okay, what are we gonna do? Like, we don't have it easy up. We don't have this or that. And it's like, okay, well, we have a breezeway. We can clean that out a bit. People can sit out there who don't want to be inside, and the rest can be inside, I guess. I don't know. We'll just have to wing it. We're trying to get better at winging it around here. There's a lot of flexibility. Really helps you get through a lot of harder times, and we still get to have a barbecue, so we still get to see our friends, at least some of them, and mostly it's family. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how the weather goes. It's totally drizzly out right now, so I think the prediction for tomorrow is the same. So my barbecue area is covered though, so I can still go out and grill. Thanks to my husband for building that. I think I showed that on my other playlist, so maybe not. I think so though. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just kind of in this mode of contemplative gratefulness, and I can look back on my life and talk about I could talk to you guys about all the bad things that have happened in my life, and quite honestly, prior to about 15, 16, all I really remember are bad things. I have auto-deleted a lot of my life. Trauma and abuse will do that to some people, and that's what it did to me. So I don't really actually remember a lot of my childhood, at least not the good things. I kind of remember a lot of the bad things. And I could sit here and talk to you about that all day if you wanted to, if you wanted to hear that, if you thought it would help you. But there's a gal, her name is Jane. Can't remember how to pronounce her last name, but she performed on America's Got Talent, which we don't have television. We don't watch television. We watch YouTube. And I got an email from a lady who works with kids with that are like, she works with boys who boys are different. They've got a wiring that's different than girls, and so she just helps those of us with boys walk through parenting a little better. And sorry about my ear itches. And she sent this video, and I was like, she's like, get your Kleenex ready, and I'm like, okay, whatever, I don't usually cry at those things too often. And so I watched the video, and the gal's name is Jane, something that starts with an M. She goes by Nightbird when she sings. She's on America's Got Talent, and I'll see if I can link to that. I'm still learning how to do this YouTube stuff, but her song is called It's Okay, and it's an original song, and it's about her last year of her life to date, and just like what she's going through. And she's a cancer survivor so far, and we wish her the best and hope that she continues to fight and win and beat the odds, because she said, I have a 2% chance of living, but that's something, and that's worth living for, right? Like, that's worth fighting for, and it's so good, and it's okay. And so I leave you with that thought that, whatever you're going through, if you're still alive, this is what I've said since my brother's car accident. He was given 5% chance of living. And this is what I've said is if you are still breathing, if you are still waking up in the morning, you still have a chance. So keep fighting. So be grateful, keep fighting, have an awesome week. God bless.